another Q&A video. I hope all of you have been doing really well. I personally have been doing super well. It's near to summertime, and summertime is my favorite season. The other day I was able to get like a little tiny chance to go to the beach. I had like my first day off. I don't even think it was a full day off. It was like a half a day off, but I was still able to go to the beach. Got a little bit of a tan, got to swim. We went to a new beach, which was really nice, called Indian Rocks Beach here in Florida. And yeah, we had a really good time. The sand was really nice and white, and I just can't wait to go back again to the beach to get more sun. Because I mean, like with our line of work here, spiritual healing, we do spend a lot of time indoors, on the laptops, on the computers, getting to your cases, you know, typing a lot, doing the Skype or the Zoom calls with you guys. And I'm very much like an outdoors person, and I like to spend, you know, as much of my time as possible in nature to feel, you know, just peace within my soul and to de-stress and relax. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the summer months, and I advise all of you, especially those of you that are on your healing journey, to get outside as much as possible. Even if you're in pain, even if you're tired, spending a few minutes outside is going to make a world of a difference in your nervous system, in the oxygenation to all the cells of your body, in your mood. There's just something about the sun and fresh air that is essential to healing the body. And you know, like just like the foods that we eat are acidic, there's also other things to consider, like the chemistry that we intake every single day in terms of the sun and the air that we breathe and the people that we're surrounding ourselves with. You know, all those things, you have to like take a good look at your life and see, okay, whatever it is that I'm involved, does this fall on the acid side of life or on the alkaline side of life? And then you have to turn your life around. You have to make necessary changes in order for you to have the best chance at healing. So the best healing, conducive environment is going to be relaxation, peacefulness, happiness, love, joy, all those things that bring you those sort of emotions, right? So, you know, for me, it's the beach and being outside. For someone else, it can be listening to a certain type of music, or, you know, doing yoga, or anything like that. So I advise all of you to just take a good look at yourself and ask yourself, what brings me joy? And, you know, just make the necessary changes, because things like that can hold us back on our healing journey. If we're constantly around someone that brings us down vibrationally, or if we are, you know, living in a place where we're not feeling too happy, or if we're in a house that has mold, you know, just everything. So detoxification is about looking at your life holistically and making all the changes necessary in order to, you know, inspire the reversal of your health issues. So how you heal any condition in your body is the reversal process. You ask yourself, well, what did it take to create this disease, right? What did it initially take? And then you go about removing and doing the opposite of everything that it took to create that, okay? So I thought that I'd share that a little piece of advice for you guys, just as a kickstart to this video. This video is going to be a Q&A video. And yeah, so I'm gonna get right down to answering your questions. And if any of you want to submit any questions for the future Q&A videos, you know, I personally pick out these questions to answer. If enough people ask the same question, definitely that topic is covered in a video. So if you guys are looking for me to answer your questions, then comment them down below in this video. Leave a like on this video, comment, subscribe if you're interested in following the true path of healing, which is true deep detoxification, not like a 3-day cleanse. This is like real deep work. Enough healing in order to regenerate the nervous system. You know, no other diet, no other modality of healing can say that. Detoxification can say that, because it's the top of the mountain. It's the pinnacle to where, okay, this is the strongest approach that we can even heal and regenerate the nervous system, right? So not many you know, people or many leaders of, you know, even natural medicine can say that, but with detoxification we've seen that occur. So yeah, yeah, if any of you are new to detoxification, I highly recommend going onto our website at www.spiritualhealing.com and reading all the articles there. You can read about what detoxification is, what iridology is, what services we offer, what it is that we do, how we help you heal, how we guide you on the healing path, and continue watching these videos because I have so many video topics to cover in the next few weeks. So you guys can look forward to all of that, okay? But I'm gonna just jump into your questions now, okay? In a little bit of a rush because we have a lot to do today, a lot to accomplish. And just to share with you guys what I'm drinking right now, I usually start my mornings with this. It's just a surefire way for me to, you know, just get fructose into my cells, to get hydration, to get astringency, to get alkalinity, to just get my day started off the right way. And it keeps me pretty full for a few hours until I have to eat another thing again, another fruit meal. I usually advise people that are eating a raw food diet, it's best if you just stock your fridge with fruits and frozen fruits. That way throughout the day, you're constantly snacking on fruits, whether that's blueberries or strawberries or watermelon, you know, have like those single mono meals every few hours. Anytime you start to feel hungry, then you have those mono fruit meals. And then you can also have smoothies. So for this particular smoothie, I put frozen blueberries, cherries, and a base of coconut water. I always advise people to keep your smoothies as simple as possible. You don't have to put nut milks, you don't have to put peanut butter, you don't have to combine a ton of different ingredients. I highly advise looking into the food combining rules. For those of you that are new to this diet, you should never mix fat with fruits. Otherwise, you'll create digestive upset and fermentation in your body. So yeah, so I thought I'd share that with you guys, but let's jump into your questions, okay? So for this first question, can you do a video on reversing neuropathy? I'm not diabetic, but I've been suffering with neuropathy. Okay, this is really common, guys. It's getting more and more common nowadays. Neuropathy, feeling just a lot of pain coming from your nervous system, like impaired muscle movement, spasms, tremors, numbness, tingling, pains, all those different things are becoming a lot more common. And even in the clients that we see, like it's not only older people, it's younger and younger people in their 30s and 20s are even seeing these things. So it's kind of scary, but this is why we all have to detox our bodies to prevent these things. And even if we have them, we can still reverse them. I'm still fairly young, but in November 2019, I was forced to get dentures. And I'm not sure if I have an allergic reaction to the zinc and the adhesive. I've quit using it since 3 days ago. Okay, well that's possible because if you think about it like this, any sort of man-made element is acidic in nature. If you cannot find it out in nature, then the body's going to see it as foreign. So especially when it comes to certain minerals, if you intake a man-made isolated substance, whether that's from a supplement or whether that's like indirectly, like you're saying it's the adhesive of the dentures that you were wearing, then it's very possible that the body sees that as foreign and acidic. And since you're constantly coming into contact with the chemistry by putting the dentures in your mouth, over time you can accumulate this sort of chemical, this sort of substance, the zinc. And if your lymph system is not moving, if your kidneys are not filtering, then it becomes a toxic overload. And so this foreign substance, the body sees it as acidic, and therefore it can damage cells. It can even bring down the function of certain glands and organs in your body. So we always have to be on the side of caution when we're introducing anything new into our lives. If we're putting something into our mouths, if we're putting something onto our skin, if we're taking an isolated supplement, we have to sit down and think first, okay, is this man-made? Anything man-made is going to eventually lead you down the path of disease, okay? Of course, there are certain things like surgeries that sometimes are necessary, but other than that, you should really seek to, try and avoid chemicals as much as possible. And I tell everyone that works with us, you have to clean up your whole life. You have to detox your whole life. You have to look at the laundry detergent that you use. You have to look at the dish soap. You have to look at the body care products that you use on yourself, all those different things to lower your exposures to neurotoxins and chemicals and pesticides and herbicides and carcinogens and all these different things, okay? So yeah, it's very possible. Also, I'm not sure if there's a connection to the fact that I have a pinched nerve on the right side of my neck, which at one point caused my entire arm to paralyze. Okay, I see this a lot of the time, which took 4 to 6 months to recover from. This can be very, very painful. Having a pinched nerve on your neck, what that's telling me is that you're lymphatically backed up here, in the neck, in the cervical spine, and in the shoulders. You're probably really tight in the shoulder area, which is causing you that pinched nerve feeling. So it's all about draining lymph. How do you do that, guys? You follow a raw food diet, predominantly fruits, whenever you can. If you don't want to stay on the salads forever, you can take off the salads and you can go all fruit. That's what I recommend, trying to get focused in the all fruit mentality, because fruits are where the power lies in regenerating the nervous system. If you have damage to your nerve endings or to your myelin sheaths, the fruits, the berries, that's where the power is in regeneration. And also that's where the astringency is to pull on the lymph system. So most diseases are going to stem from the lymph system and the body's inability to drain lymphatic waste. The lymphatic system is the sewer system of your body. That's the system that controls the detoxification or elimination of toxins, of acids, cellular waste, of chemicals, of anything like that. That's the cause of disease. 99% of all diseases are going to come from the breaking down of the tissue of organs and glands from acids. And most of the acids that do this, that create this problem in the first place, are going to be cellular waste. All the cells in your body create waste. When they intake nutrition from the foods you eat, their byproducts are waste products that are highly acidic. Anything acidic brings about tissue decay, tissue damage. And so our bodies aren't all about like eating, consumption. We're also about excreting the byproducts from these, from these foods that we've intaken, right? So there's a huge connection between the lymphatic system and the kidneys. The kidneys are supposed to drain all the lymphatic waste out of your body. All the lymphatic waste that surround the cells intracellularly, inside and outside. And this fluid that surrounds them is called the interstitial fluid. When we see problems like this, having a pinched nerve on your neck, you know that you're interstitially constipated in the neck and in the shoulder and in this upper region of your body. So really, you have to take your power back. You have to take the responsibility of moving and pumping this lymph system with the astringency of the fruits. There's no other food group there that is able to have that astringency to pull on the lymphatic waste, on this lymphatic sewage that's causing the destruction of your nerves or causing swelling to occur in your body, okay? So that's really, really key, is moving your mentality as quickly as possible to all fruit, because pinched nerves are one thing. Okay, you can see that symptom, be like, oh man, I threw out my neck. Oh man, it's very tense and tight. Oh, I have a lot of pain, right? And then it gets worse over time. You always notice that you don't see paralysis just coming out of nowhere. No, these sorts of people, they tend to have like upper neck and back pain. That's the body warning you before things get worse. And then what happens? You can either have destruction of your nerve endings, you can have the destruction of the myelin sheaths that are coating the neurons themselves, or you can have different weaknesses in the said glands that are connected to the nervous system. Or you can have something wrong with your spine, it could be lymphatic pressure, all these different things. So thankfully, the fruit diet and the raw food diet addresses all those different causative factors, whether that's from the foods that you're eating or whether that's from a chemical that you ingested, okay? Well, let's move on. Okay, yes, so your question was, I'm not sure if there's a connection to the fact that I have a pinched nerve on the right side of my neck, which at one point caused my entire arm to paralyze. Took 4 to 6 months to recover from. Ooh, I wonder what your recovery process looked like. I know that it can be very, very painful and very scary. So, you know, they advise like don't move that much, or sometimes, you know, they recommend recreational therapy, you know, to rebuild muscle, but I don't recommend that. You want to not move as much as possible because inspiring movement is going to create more acidosis in your body in the form of lactic acid, muscle movement. So you need to avoid any acidic nature as much as possible. I hope you can find time in your busy schedule. Sending love your way. Thank you. Sending love your way too. And okay, so let's get down to healing everything, okay? So in the first part of your question, you said, can you do a video of reversing neuropathy? Okay, you said I'm not diabetic, but I've been suffering with neuropathy. So you don't have to have diabetes or be diabetic or show diabetic symptoms in order to develop neuropathy. The medical profession likes to blame diabetes or, you know, like high blood sugar levels as destroying their nerve cells, but nothing can be further from the truth, okay? When diabetics come to us, diabetics type 1 or type 2, either one, what we always see is weakness in the kidneys and the adrenal glands. What does that tell me? Oh, if this person has weak kidneys and adrenals, we see this in their eyes through radiology, whether that's like a chronic weakness, it's usually chronic or degenerative or genetic, then we see the lymphatic system backed up from head to toe. Over time, that's what happens. Whether your eyes are brown, then we see, you know, more of those chronic brown colors in the eyes, where the brown of the iris should be lighter in color, or we see in a blue eye various different levels of lymphatic congestion. It could be white, acute lymph congestion, subacute, which looks a little more yellow, turning the eye a little bit more on the greener side, or it could be chronic brown, turning the iris hazel. So depending on how bad or backed up your lymph system is, you can tell by the different shades if you are a brown iris person, or if you're a blue iris person, whether that's white, yellow, or brown. The chronic brown is going to be more difficult to detox, but you have all the time that you need to detox, you know. The white is less severe, and if you're someone with a stronger constitution and if you're on the herbs, then you can clear up this lymphatic system much easier, okay? So that's something that we first have to consider. Now, when I look at the eyes, and people that have neuropathy, again, this can look like various symptoms: numbness, tingling, pain, muscle weakness, paralysis, all that stuff. What I tend to see, and this is where we can pinpoint, where is this coming from? Where is the root cause coming from with this neuropathy? First, I look at the glands, adrenal glands. Very common to have an adrenal gland weakness, whether you're diabetic or not. The adrenal glands in people that are diabetic controls sugar metabolism. So this is why a lot of people that have neuropathy also have diabetes, because with diabetes, if you're not metabolizing your sugars, right, then what happens? The body goes into ketosis very often, producing ketones. Ketones are acidic, so the body goes into ketoacidosis, and that can damage the nerve cells. Right? Now, with an adrenal gland weakness, this adrenal gland also produces neurotransmitters that regulates the nervous system and regulates the communication between the peripheral nerves of the body and the spinal cord and the central nervous system to the brain, and going back and forth. These peripheral nerves make up sensory nerves, when you can feel things, the temperature, vibration, touch, all that stuff. That's your sensory nerves. Motor nerves control muscle movement, right? You know, it sends a signal to your muscles, to your skeletal muscles, in order to move that particular body part or that particular joint, right? And then you have your autonomic nerves. Autonomic nerves control automatic responses, things that you don't have to think about, like heartbeat, pupil dilation, you know, things like that. Breathing, we don't really have to think about breathing, it happens automatically. Blinking, all that stuff. Salivating, everything automatic, So that makes up the peripheral nerves, sensory, motor, and autonomic. And with neuropathy, you can affect all these different types of nerves. It all depends on the severity of acidosis and the damage to nerve tissue and the location. So it's very common for people to be backed up right here, because if we think about it from the emotional aspects, people that are very stressed, they tend to hold a lot of energy here on our shoulders and on our neck. And especially nowadays with technology, we're constantly like this, in this position, looking down on our phones, or we're either typing on a laptop, we're very restricted in our movements, or we can also have things like repeated actions, repeated muscle movement, especially from the fingers or up here, that can create more acidosis. And if your lymph system is already compromised, which, let's be honest, most people's lymph systems are compromised because most people have genetic kidney and adrenal weakness stemming down from their parents to their grandparents to their grandparents. We see that all the time in the eyes. So this is why in order to heal this, you have to relax. Don't really exercise. Even though exercise moves the lymph system, you don't want to exercise. You want the fruits to be your lymph pumpers, to be your lymph busters, okay? So if you have damage to any one of these nerves, the sensory nerve, the motor nerve, or the autonomic nerve, then know that there is an impairment in the communication between your nerves and your spinal cord and the central nervous system and back. Okay, so depending on what your symptoms are, if you feel paralysis or numbness or pain, then you can bet your hand on, you know, the sensory, motor, or autonomic nerves to be impaired. So going back to the iris, I tend to look at the iris as a way of detecting where the root cause of this neuropathy is coming from. So we address the adrenal glands, right? Always a genetic adrenal gland weakness right there at around 6 o'clock if you look at the iris in the form of a clock. Right around 6 o'clock, okay? The neurotransmitters released from the adrenal glands. That's very, very important. You have to take a look at your other symptoms too. If you are someone that has like anxiety, or if you are someone that has inflammation in your body, little different symptoms like that can show us if you have an adrenal gland weakness or not. But the best way is just to see your eyes, to get a picture of your eyes so I can do an iris reading. That's what I really recommend. If people are suffering with chronic health issues and they're having a hard time really making a breakthrough in their health and in their healing journey, then I do recommend working with us one-on-one. You can work with me or with one of our counselors. We're all trained detox specialists. We all have many years of experience in reversing all different types of health issues and disease symptoms, anywhere from, you know, the simplest of diseases like pimples, right? Or, you know, having excess weight or anything like that, all the way to degenerative issues like multiple sclerosis and cancer. So we've seen it all, and we've been able to reverse a lot of health issues in people. You know, once you take on the program, the protocol, the sky's the limit. You can literally heal and reverse a lot of your health issues. But it's gonna come down to you and your mental state and your focus, right? It takes persistence, but at least there's a way out. And at least the recovery time to heal from these sort of health issues is a lot shorter than the time that it actually took to create it. Because let's say if you're 40 years old and you have neuropathy, it took you 40 years to create this health issue. And even often before that, if you were in your mother's womb, and you're sharing her lymphatic system, while you're in there, you're going to have her lymph system coming into this life, right? And then all the genetic weaknesses passed down to her then are passed down to you, okay? But it's not going to take you 40 years to heal. It'll take you a certain amount of time, whether that's a few months or a year, of laser-like focus on going after what you want, going after the healing of your nervous system, okay? So I know I'm like going all over the place here, guys, but I'm really just channeling whatever I feel like you guys need to hear or what this person needs to hear, okay? So going back to the eyes, we covered adrenal weakness. Now, when someone comes to me with neuropathy or peripheral neuropathy, I take a look at, okay, let's see how many nerve rings they have in their eye, or if they have nerve rings. These are concentric circles going around the iris, the colored part of the eyes. And depending on how many you have, we can assess whether or not the damage is not too bad or very severe. People whose damage to the myelin sheaths is very severe, they're going to have like 4, 5, or 6 nerve rings. Most people have somewhere like 1 to 2 at least, pointing to some stress and tension in their body and ability to handle stress, which, okay, over time as acids continue to destroy tissue, nerve rings can become more and more plentiful. But we're talking about young people here, people that are not in their 80s and 90s, not now seeing, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s now seeing several nerve rings in their eyes, 5, 6 nerve rings. And what breaks my heart is we've been seeing a lot of children too, especially recently. Parents are looking to take advantage of this time now that their children are out of school because of the lockdown situation to finally heal and detox their bodies. We're seeing younger and children, and the amount of nerve rings that they have breaks my heart because they're little children or babies coming into this world with compromised nerve systems. And if you don't have your nervous system, you have a long life of suffering awaiting you. So it's very important to get on an all-fruit diet when you have these signs. Like I said before, having these nerve rings points to the myelin sheaths breaking down in your body. And what are the myelin sheaths? The myelin sheaths are like this fatty substance that coats the axons of the neurons. It protects, it insulates them from damage, and also it helps to speed up the nerve impulse, speeds up communication between the nerves and the muscles, or the nerves and the internal organs and glands, or the nerves and the skin when it comes to sensory neurons. So it's very, very important to keep the integrity of these myelin sheaths. What destroys myelin sheaths? Acids, cellular waste, foreign substances, toxicity, just general toxicity, general obstructions, okay? This can be lymphatic pressure, acids, toxins, viruses, anything that's not supposed to belong in your body. Health is our natural state. If we live in accordance to the laws of nature, then all it takes is time. All it takes is time for the body to clean out and restore and regenerate. Regeneration only occurs in an alkaline medium. That's something very important that we have to constantly remind ourselves. Because if we don't remind ourselves that, then we're just going to go after treatment-based thinking. Like, okay, let me take this pain medication to suppress my symptom. Or I'll just go for a little massage and, I'll feel better, move the acids around, move that lymph system around. But am I getting rid of my acidic waste? No, I'm not. Now, some of these modalities, these natural healing modalities can be good as a way for us to comfort ourselves if we're in too much pain or experiencing too much symptomology. So like, I know for myself, when I had fibromyalgia and I had a lot of these shooting pains firing off of the nerves, a lot of muscle pain, a lot of numbness, tinglingness, I went for frequent massages, especially while I was, before I found out about detoxification. I felt like I needed it all the time, but the pain always came back. It was very temporary relief, maybe one day or maybe half a day, or in the beginning when it wasn't that severe, it would have like a week of relief of the pain for me personally. But then as the situation got worse, acids don't sit around and look pretty, they continue to deteriorate and degenerate, and since I wasn't addressing the root cause of the problem, it got worse. But then when I coupled that with detoxification, and I was consuming the raw foods, hydrating my cells, clearing out all of this acidic matter, and then I coupled some massage work, some chiropractic work in there, then I started to see real changes in my body and in my pain levels and in my symptomology. So that's what I recommend for you guys. For you guys that are suffering too much in your symptoms, and even on your detox journey, your detox will expose the weaknesses in your body. So if you've ever felt like symptoms in the past or pain that you suppressed, during detox is going to come back up again. This can include a lot of pain, along your shoulders, along your spine, along your fingers, in your feet, anywhere. Okay, so you have to be aware detox symptoms are very common. What we can do is we can, push through the detox symptom and continue on not changing our diet, even digging deeper with the fruits or fasting, right? And using detox tools to help cope and manage these detox symptoms or pain symptoms. What I recommend for people with neuropathy or with any sort of nervous system weakness, if you're really involved with pain and holding on to that pain, and if it lasts for weeks and months, use castor oil packs. Use oils as a buffer, okay? Because your body actually has this sort of, like mechanism, like emergency mechanism, where it can use cholesterol, calcium, or water as buffers of acids. So we can do the same in certain times with things like castor oil packs or evening primrose oil taken orally in liquid form. Or some people use CBD oil, but it depends on the type of person, whether you can react to it well or not. Everything is very individual, but I usually recommend castor oil packs to help buffer the acidic burden in that area of your body. So like, let's say if you're feeling that nerve pain, like right where your shoulder is, make a castor oil pack and put it right there. Leave it on overnight with a hot water bottle over it. It's very important for you to have hot moisture, a hot water bottle. Do not use a heating pad, because then it's not going to be able to permeate the skin. So use a wet form of heat, a hot water bottle, even if it means that it doesn't hold its heat for as long as a heating pad. Hot water bottle always tends to work better in our experience. So, and even, in nervous system weaknesses and cases that come to us, if the person is experiencing a lot of pain or symptomology, I often recommend them, okay, take some evening primrose oil, because that oil, that fat will help buffer, will help insulate, will help calm things down while you're going through these detox symptoms and detox experiences. A lot of you guys have been requesting for me to make a new video on detox symptoms and how to handle them, but there's so many detox symptoms out there that I would really like to know from you guys, like, okay, what detox symptoms do you want me to cover? I'm already in the works of creating an emotional detox symptoms video, but as far as the physical ones go, I need you guys' help for you to tell me which ones you want me to talk about, because I sprinkle a lot of detox symptoms and like what to do and how to overcome them throughout all these videos. And I've already made like a physical and emotional detox symptom video, part 1. I haven't gotten around to part 2 yet, but just give me ideas. Comment down below which physical detox symptoms are you currently struggling with. That way I can make a video and go down the list, down the line of how I would address them, okay? So you guys can keep on moving forward on your detox without letting detox symptoms stop you, okay? So yeah, so I'd really like that feedback from you guys. And let me see, I'm trying to think of anything else that you can incorporate as as a detox tool for neuropathy. Oh, something very, very good is working the neurolymphatic massage points down the spine. So since you're involved in the paralysis of your arm and of your hands, and you're having that neck pain, right here on the right side, that neck pain, then what would be really useful is to inspire nerve flow to that certain area of your body. So the cervical spine, which is the neck, controls the upper extremities, okay? So what a good detox tool will look like for the neurolymphatic massage is taking both of your fingers, put them each on one side of your spine. So your pointer on the left side, your finger, your middle finger on the right side, and working in a clockwise motion just to massage it. For each point, spend like about 30 seconds at least massaging it, and you're gonna have to help someone. You're gonna have to use someone to help you do this. So have them massage those points all the way from the base of the head, all the way down the neck, and all the way down your spine to your sacral spine. What this is gonna do is it's gonna help pull on this lymphatic congestion from the upper head regions, the shoulder regions, down to your kidneys to be filtered, okay? And also it'll help you improve the nerve flow from the spinal nerves to the peripheral nerves all over your body, like we were discussing before, sensory, motor, and even autonomic nerves, okay? This is very, very important. Incorporating that neurolymphatic massage detox tool daily if you can. If your kidneys are filtering, that will be fantastic. Kidney filtration, of course, is of utmost importance. How are you going to eliminate all this sewage that's breaking down your nerves in the first place? You know, that could be either breaking down your adrenal gland tissue that's affecting the neurotransmitters, or breaking down the myelin sheaths that makes up your nerves, right? And your neurons. So the nerve being the bigger one and the neurons inside, making up the neuron fibers inside of the nerve. How are you going to inspire regeneration there? You need kidney filtration. So I have several articles on my website discussing all these things. So you can find an article on the neurolymphatic massage and how to do it. You can find an article on kidney filtration on my website and what that should look like. But essentially what you want to do is, while you're detoxing and on your raw diet, you want to pee in a clear jar, a mason jar, kind of like this, a clear jar. And right in the morning is the best time to do it. Pee and then leave it settled, undisturbed, like on your counter or in your bathroom, and after a few hours come back to it, after like 3 or 4 hours, after things have settled down, check to see if you have sediment in your urine, okay? It'll look different for each person, but you should be able to see something. You don't want to see clear urine because it just means that you're moving around your lymph and your acids, but you're not eliminating them. You want to see this lymphatic sewage and acidic waste come out in your urine, okay? Your urine is going to be your main channel of elimination, but you also have your skin through sweating. That's very useful, and the air that you breathe through oxygenation through your lungs, releasing carbon dioxide and toxicity from there. And then you also have, of course, the cleaning of your colon, cleaning of the mucus and parasites, sulfur, mucoid plaque, all those different things, okay? I also have an article on mucoid plaque on my website, but familiarize yourself with the 4 different channels of elimination and how to relieve the body of all this toxicity in order to heal. Your kidney filtration should look like cloudiness, or mucus strands in your urine, or some people even get out things that look like crystals. A lot of children get out these little crystal-like substances in their urine. And then for some people it'll look like just sand that has settled on the bottom, kind of looks like sand. For some people they see flakes in their urine, like big flakes. So you want to see this kidney filtration more often than not. And you'll find that the deeper you dig into your detox, the more kidney filtration you'll see. And you want to do everything you can to inspire this kidney filtration. Simplifying your diet more and more, okay? For those that have weak kidneys and adrenals, it can be hard to achieve kidney filtration with just the bare minimum, like the raw diet, right? That's why to achieve kidney filtration, you have to go at it in the most powerful way possible, with a very specific protocol dedicated to your weaknesses that we see in your eyes, and fruit diet as much as you can get there in your mental focus, and staying on that diet, incorporating fasting, mono fruit fasting, grape fasting, or melon fasting, or citrus fasting, or juice fasting, whatever you can handle, okay? And then checking to see if your kidney filtration is influenced by these different things that you're trying out. And whatever works for you, if you notice your kidneys are filtering after that, do more of that, okay? But only if it's alkaline chemistry that you're taking in. So I know some people, they're like, oh, well, I ate meat, or I ate this and my kidneys filtered. No, you're not going to achieve long-term kidney filtration with that. That's just stimulation that you're seeing, just temporary stimulation. You want kidney filtration to be achieved after digging deep on the raw food diet and the fruit diet. So calcium utilization is really important when it comes to nerve function because of the calcium channels that are located in the nerves. It controls the triggering of the neurotransmitters. So very important to see if you have a parathyroid or pituitary gland weakness. The parathyroid controls calcium utilization. The pituitary gland controls the function of the parathyroid gland and all the glands in the body. We can see this in the iris. If there's a lacuna or a lesion in that region where the parathyroid gland is in the iris and the pituitary, then that needs to be addressed with herbs. Generally, for people that have neuropathy or anyone that has a nervous system dysfunction in their body, I will look at these areas and see if having maybe like the bones and connective tissue formula in their protocol, that would really benefit them, because there's a kelp in there that's really high in calcium. You could also take kelp individually, very high in calcium and iodine. That would really be really beneficial, just to ensure that calcium utilization is up in your body, because that could be a contributing factor to nerve function. So this is kind of like what an herbal protocol for someone with neuropathy would look like. You need kidney formulas. Kidney tincture, number 1. Kidney number 2 tincture, I'd say. Lymph node tincture formula would be really good. Lymphatic tincture, lymphatic capsules, depending on the strength. If you're just starting out, I'd recommend the number 1 formula, lymphatic number 1 capsule, lymph node number 1 tincture. And then I'd definitely be on brain and nerve tincture, to help encourage the healing of the brain and the nervous system, and upper circulation formula to get more blood flow and to get the herb nutrition up into the head region, into the neck region. Lower circulation, if you're having trouble with neuropathy in your feet or your legs, if you get numbness or tinglingness or paralysis there as well, or pain, whichever one of those symptoms. I'd also, going back to what you can do to manage pain, like we said, we address, castor oil packs, evening primrose oil, but you could also try the spasm calm formula. If your pain is pretty moderate to severe, you can try spasm calm formula with the pain formula and put them together. But if I had to choose one of the two, I'd say spasm calm formula, because it helps just to relax the nervous system. I even use that formula, the spasm calm formula, with people that have things like anxiety or muscle tremors or anything like that. Anything that you have to calm down, headaches, anything like that, use the spasm calm formula. That would be very helpful, just in detox symptoms in those certain situations. Something else that you'd also want to be on, going back to the different detoxification tools that you should be on, after you've relieved the tension all the way up here in the neck and the shoulder region, I'd say go to a chiropractor, a very well-reviewed chiropractor, one that you trust, one that has really good reviews, and see if, getting a spinal adjustment will help with the nerve flow going on. The beauty about the raw foods is that anytime you go to get your spine adjusted at a chiropractor, you keep and hold your adjustment, whereas before you had to keep on revisiting them over and over again, and acids just, create that misalignment coming back over and over again. But with the raw food diet and the fruit diet, you keep your adjustments for longer. So it can be very helpful to healing of the nervous system when there's proper blood flow and nerve flow when the spine is aligned. So I highly recommend that as well. Reflexology is something that you can use as well. You can look up how to do reflexology on yourself. The thumb is really good at helping to relieve paralysis or neuropathy. You can just massage, starting from the root of the thumb, going all the way up to the tip of the finger, and also right here, massaging the tip of the thumb to stimulate the brain as well. So you can look up, different techniques online on how to do that, or you can go to a reflexologist that can help you. Now, the beauty of iridology, and this is, I usually recommend, chiropractic adjustments to my clients if I really see a chronic weakness along their spine. So if I were to look at your eyes, since you're involved cervically speaking, you have the pinched nerve in your neck, I would really see if there's a weakness along the spine. A weakness along the spine can mean misalignment of the spine, or it can mean poor blood flow or nerve flow to that certain region, because different areas of the spine correspond with the nerves going to those areas of the body and regulating them, sending signals back and forth from that certain area to the peripheral nerves, to the central nervous system, and back again. The brain is just that drive that helps to control every part of the body. You can't hide anything from the brain, right? So I would see if you have a chronic cervical spine weakness in your eyes, and we'd be able to detect that with reading your eyes. And if you do, then you definitely want to get regular adjustments in that area of your spine with a chiropractor. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We discussed the diet, the herbal formulas that you should be on. Those are the essential ones. I would stick with that over and over and over again. And for more specifics, you know, if you're really struggling with healing your neuropathy or any other condition or illness, then I would highly recommend working with us one-on-one. I recommend the Master Your Health package, because that package comes with everything that you need to get started on your healing journey, like truly in a place of power and understanding of where all your health issues are coming from. We address the root causes with the Master Your Health package. So what this package brings is a consultation with myself or one of our counselors on Zoom or on Skype, and it also brings the analysis of your eyes and iris reading with your eyes clearly labeled, you know, pointing out all the major weaknesses that we see going on in your body that need to be addressed with the diet, with the herbs, with the detox tools, with fasting. It brings a diet plan as well as an herbal protocol, plans for fasting, plans for what you should be eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner, any snacks in between, the herbal protocol, of course. And it also brings a guide of detox tools specific to you, what you need specifically based on the health issues that we saw and the root causes of those health issues. So Master Your Health package is what I generally recommend for people that are looking to heal their health issues. Now we also have iridology plans as well, a simple iris analysis, an in-depth iris report, an in-depth iris report with an herbal protocol. That's part of our services as well. We also have the transition to raw detox ebook guide as well on our website. So you can find all these services and all these products in our website down below at www.spirittropicalhealing.com. And yeah, guys, I really can't wait to continue working with all of you. We're really looking to add more people to our team so that we can expand and help even more of you guys, because there's so many of you out there that are suffering. I'm sending you all my love, and take care, guys. Until the next video. Bye.